Hey, what's up guys? In today's vlog, I want to talk about this video that I'm presenting to you. It's about my story and my background, why I decided to work at Fifth Element Wellness, and what were the important aspects that motivated me or incentivized me to work at that gym. So here is a clip of me working the fitness director and mentor Dave. He has been really the orchestrator of all my essential knowledge that I've acquired over the last 2 years regarding gut health, stress management, strength training. And he's really been a key insight as to my development as a personal trainer. So you're going to see a little bit, it's not very long, it's probably about 4 minutes, a video about my overall health and what I was like prior. And now what I want to do is be able to share that and give that back to you guys. So hopefully you enjoy this. Very valuable, content very valuable. And yeah, don't forget to like it, put a comment down below, and enjoy this vlog.
Hi guys, David O'Brien, Fifth Element Wellness. For this video, actually, I thought I'd do a bit of a case study. So I brought in one of my trainers, Lucas, and just talk about his story. For me, all our trainers here, they come with a story. They come here, yes, to work here, but they came here to achieve optimal health and become a better version of themselves. And a lot of them had a lot of serious underlying health complications. And for me, with Lucas, he came here and really his issues were in that he had like poor focus, poor concentration, poor short-term to long-term memory conversion. When he first started here, really struggled with the education. We put a huge emphasis on education here, and he just had an inability to retain that information and so forth. So, and yeah, like we looked at things like his blood markers and so forth, but we also, he had, even from a training perspective, had just poor ability to take instruction and understand how to contract his muscles properly and apply that properly and so forth. And for me, a lot of that laid in his maybe his lack of acetylcholine, and we help with that by increasing things like choline, by including a little bit more seafood, things like fish oil and so forth to help with that aspect. And another thing is Lucas really struggled to switch off. So he really struggled with, is more in that sympathetic nervous system state, and we're trying to get him more into that parasympathetic nervous state. He's going to talk about how he did that, and increasing acetylcholine can have an inhibitory effect on the cardiovascular system, a bit more excitatory in the brain, but that's also the gateway to your parasympathetic nervous system. So it actually helped, with him relaxing and calming down as well. Yeah, okay. But the big area we got into him was what was going on with his gut, and he had a particular negative gram-bacteria which is called Klebsiella. And Klebsiella as a negative gram-bacteria is an endotoxin, and under shock and trauma and so forth, you release like 1 million to 3 million particles of LPS, which is like fatty acid molecules and like polysaccharides, and release that into the system. It can cause problems with intestinal permeability, problems with the liver, and even like insulin issues as well. That's where a lot of his problems laid, and essentially that's what we started to look at. But just speak about some of the things that you've done since you've been here and how you felt as a consequence.
Yeah. So obviously when I first started here, everything was obviously new to me, and I had a lot of difficulty retaining information and things like that. So one thing I started implementing right away from Dave's instruction was yoga, and I've been doing that for, being here for nearly about 1.5 years. I've been doing that quite consistently, and that's really helped me a lot. In terms of my food, things like carbs and sugars and gluten, things like that, I've definitely removed completely, and that in a sense has helped me a lot as well. Yes, I'm going for my actual third blood test actually, so I do that consistently, so I get a lot of consistent data coming through, which is important to check all these underlying issues and seeing if there's any improvements being made. One, stool testing, which I've done, which I'll need to retest to see if that Klebsiella is still there. And just doing things like ice bath, cold therapy and breathing, I'm starting to implement them so that my immune system can actually improve as well and help boost things like testosterone.
Yeah, and the one thing I'll say with the particular gut bacteria that Lucas had, the one thing he said to me when he actually went on to the gut protocol, and of course it's a bit of a roller coaster initially, but when he was actually coming off the back end of the gut protocol, the one thing that Lucas said to me, he said he was doing some extra study and he was doing some, going over some notes, and he said all of a sudden he felt like he just had this extra surge of like energy and extra ability to just sit there and take on information and study, because all that essential, like that stress and all that inflammation that negative gram bacteria was causing, all of a sudden he didn't have that extra burden of that issue. And other things that we noticed is that Lucas really, even like his energy systems and so forth, improved just recently. I mean, Lucas entered his first powerlifting comp.
Absolutely, yeah.
And basically he lifted, was 190 kilo?
Yeah.
Yeah, 190 kilo. What was your body weight?
68 kilograms.
At 68 kilos, yeah, okay? And he's really new to this game. And, yes, there's other factors in terms of the type of training. I'm not going to go into those factors, but by us correcting essentially what was going on with his biochemistry and what was going on with his gut, this allowed him to have better muscle contraction, better focus, better concentration, okay, and ultimately has led him to this point where now he's deadlifting 190 kilos at, about 65 kilos body weight. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks, Lucas, for coming by.
Thank you, Dave.
And yeah, speak to you guys soon. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.